Okay, here's a quick video on how to set up the Brother A00 control with a Titan DNC adapter, which plugs down into here your serial port. The first thing is you need to have a cable DB25 to DB9, and this is a DB9 female. That plugs in there. Oops. That plugs in there. And this is a DB25 male. So that's number one. Number two, the cable should be this configuration. So here I have DB25 side and DB9 side. So on this particular machine, you need all of these connections. 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 8, 5 to 7, 6 to 4, 7 to 5, 20 to 6, and 25 to 9. And forget about the colors. The color doesn't matter. That's just the cable that I used. So this is the cable for an A00 control to go from the DNC to the Brother. That's step one. So then you have your first connection. Step two is to get the communication parameters correct. So let's go to Data Bank, User Parameter, Communication, and here are the settings that you need. So select port 0, port A. Connection object is a PTP/PTR. So we're going to basically a tape reader type of format. So we select 0. The communication protocol master is type 1, so that is 0. The baud rate, I have that set to 6 because this control can handle 19,200. So we put that to 6. The parity is 2, even. Stop bit is 0. Character is 0. Response monitoring time, I have that set to 7. I don't know if that's important, but it's set to 7. So we'll F0 out of that. Then you have your Titan DNC over here. So let's go to function. First, okay, USB. Yep, that's fine. Set. And I have it connected to USB. There's also internal memory to here, but I just use a USB stick. So let's go to function here and go down to, use the arrow down to settings. There we go. Let's see, is that in focus? Yeah, maybe. Arrow to settings, say set. And then we're going to scroll down to communication, set. And then here are the 8 parameters for the communication side. So, protocol, press set, and that should be RS-232. And you can see the little circle around it selects we don't want parallel, we want RS-232. Set. Flow control is hardware. Code is ASCII ISO. Baud rate 19,200. Data bits 7. Parity even. Stop bits 1. And line character delay 0. And okay, line delay 0 and character delay 0. You have to hit set twice there. That's it. Back. And now we're ready to load in a program. So let's do that. We go here first to our edit menu, and then we want to let's see, we want to external program IO. So we arrow down to that. Input from PTR, enter. We want to input a program, enter. And now all we do is we set program number and push edit start key. So we're going to put, I've already done this once, so I'm going to go to programs and I'm going to select a program, this 1800 program here. So I've selected my program. And one thing that's very important with the Brother machine is the syntax of the program. So it's important to have, let me make sure that's in focus as best as I can. You want to make sure that your program starts with a %sign. I name my program in the first line with an S and then the program number, and then you can have your something in parentheses as your comment. But I always start with a % and then an S and then a program number. And if we scroll down at the bottom, you end your program with also a %. So that's what you need at the beginning and the end. You need a % at the beginning at the end. The next thing is the program name. Is very important that you start with the letter O and then a program number .nc. So it's important to have the letter O and then a program number. That's what the control is expecting. Okay, so once you have your program up, you say function here, and then the first thing that's highlighted is send. If you hit the arrow down button, you can do other functions, but send is what we want because we're sending the program. So once you have that send, press set. And now you'll see up here, it says ready. So this thing is pumped and ready to send that program. Now on your control, type in the same number. In this case, our program number was 1800, and we're going to hit edit start. Now, because I've unplugged things and done a lot of stuff up here, we might get an error that says framing error. We don't worry about that. We'll just do the process again. Let's see if it goes and inputs the program. So I'm going to hit edit start, but let's look at the screen here. And sure enough, framing error. So don't panic at that. Just hit reset. And we'll go through the whole thing again. External program, input from PTR, program 1800. And here, something went wrong, so we just go back. And it's ready still, and we hit edit start again. Now we're transferring. You can see the program's transferring, and now the program is in the control. We'll just page down, and you can see 1800 came into the control. Now once you've had that framing error, and that was because I was messing with parameters. When you start the control right from the beginning, say it's in the morning and we well, let's just do it here. We'll make the video a little bit longer. I always leave this on, and let's power down the control. Because we've connected all those, not just the communication in this cable, we also connected the power lines. So a couple of these in here are the power. So we just leave this on. Now we boot up our control here. The control comes alive. This comes alive. I can say set. And let's get that same program up again. And then we'll just leave it there. And let's go into our edit menu again. External program, enter, input from P to P, yep. And let's input that program again, 1800. And here we'll say function send. So function send, it's ready. When I hit edit start, it's going to give me a little screen that says, are you sure? Because we already have it in there. Already exists, same program. Input OK, yes. And now it's transferring. So in there, it overwrote that program. So that framing error, not to keep going back to it, that was just because I was messing around. Now this is the way this is set up, and it uses just a USB stick. This USB stick is a little bit, I did set up something very particular with this. I used a Toshiba Air card, which is a Wi-Fi card. That is a little bit of a nightmare to set up, but you can just put all of your programs on a USB stick. The most important thing with transferring programs that I have found, once you get the communication stuff all done, is to make sure that you don't use any special characters in your programs. So everything has to be uppercase letters. Let's just say program list. Let's go down to 1800. We'll pull that in. So you're allowed to have parentheses. You're allowed to have this slash mark, but everything else is all capital letters. If you use a lowercase letter or some special character, even though we use them all the time in texts and things like that, you might get an error when you transfer. It'll say, and I don't know what those errors are. I know in the beginning I used something and it would always get hung up. And it came out, oh, you can't use an asterisk or something crazy like that. It was like, oh, okay. Everything has to be capital letters. But after that, everything's fine and it connects well and is really actually very, very reliable. I have not tried to do any drip feeding to the control. I use this just to put programs in and out of the machine. It's a lot easier than having a computer hooked up to the machine. Thanks.